Hello and welcome. I'm with the team here at Proptia. Speeding in our communities, it's more than just a nuisance, right? It's a huge safety concern. And for property managers, it can feel like a never-ending headache. So what if there was a way to enforce your rules fairly, consistently, and automatically? Let's dive into how that's now possible.
So let me ask you, is your current approach to speed enforcement really working? If you're like most communities we talk to, it probably feels like a constant uphill battle. You're dealing with manual tracking, things are inconsistent, and worst of all, it can lead to those really awkward, confrontational conversations. And that kind of enforcement, well, it just doesn't build trust. The big question we're here to answer is, can we finally automate this? Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll touch on the challenge of speeding. Then we'll introduce an automated solution and show you exactly how it works. After that, we'll get into the best part, how you control all the rules. And finally, we'll walk through how to get started. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the automated solution. We're talking about a way to bring a fair, efficient, and totally consistent approach to your community's safety. When you look at how things are often done, it's that manual process on the left. It's inconsistent, it takes up so much of your team's valuable time, and it's often confrontational. But now, look to the right. With Proptia's automated workflow, we're flipping that on its head. It becomes fair, super efficient, everything is documented, and most importantly, it's consistent for every single resident.
So, what are we really talking about when we say automated speed violation workflow? Well, think of it as your own digital enforcement assistant. It's a system that uses an automated, rule-based process to escalate notices. It can go from a gentle, friendly reminder all the way up to an official citation. And the key here, and this is so important, is that it's all based entirely on your community's custom policies, your rules enforced consistently every single time.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work day to day? Let's walk through the workflow in action, from the moment a car is speeding to when a notice is delivered. The whole thing breaks down into 5 simple steps. We've got detection, an automated lookup, communication assembly, a manager review, which is key, and then the final delivery. It's a really seamless process. So it all kicks off with step 1, detection. One of the Traffic Logix cameras captures a speeding vehicle. It doesn't just get the speed, it gets a clear shot of the license plate, the exact location, and a timestamp. All of that critical info is then automatically and securely sent right into your Proptia system. This is where the magic really happens. For steps 2 and 3, Proptia takes over. The system instantly looks up that license plate in your records, identifies the vehicle's owner, whether it's a resident, a vendor, or even a guest, and then, boom, it automatically puts together a professional PDF notice with all the details of the incident. Now, this is probably the most important part of the entire workflow and something we have to stress. No communication is ever sent without your approval. The system does all the prep work, but every single notice lands in a queue for you, the manager, to review. You have the final say. You can approve it, you can discard it, you are always in control. And once you click approve, step 5 kicks in, final delivery. The system sends out the notice through email. You can even include an optional link for them to pay a fine right then and there. Or, if you prefer, you can just download the PDF and send it out via direct mail. It's completely up to you. Okay, so the automation is powerful, but what really makes this a game changer is that you control the rules. Let's talk about how you can customize the enforcement based on your community's specific policies. At the heart of the system is this really smart 3-tier enforcement ladder. So for a first incident, maybe it's just a friendly email notification. For a repeat offense, it escalates to a formal violation. And if it happens again, it could become a citation, maybe even with a fine. The beauty of it is, you decide what each tier looks like and when it gets triggered. And you really do define all the parameters. You decide things like, how many offenses does it take to escalate to the next tier? What's the time window for tracking those repeat offenses? You can even set a rule for a really severe speeder to bypass the warnings and go straight to a citation. And of course, you set the fines or any other penalties, like losing access to amenities. It's completely tailored to you. Here's a perfect example. You can set your own repeat offense window. Maybe for your community, 30 days makes the most sense. Or maybe it's 60 or 90. Whatever you decide, you just set it and the system handles the rest. All right, so I'm sure you're thinking, this sounds great, but what does it take to actually get started? Let's cover what you need to do to activate automated enforcement in your community.
Okay, on your end, there are a few key responsibilities. First and foremost, you'll need to research and comply with all your local and state laws. Of course, you'll need to get approval from your HOA board. And this last one is so important. Making sure your license plate data for residents, vendors, and visitors is accurate and up to date in Proptia. The system is powerful, but it's only as good as the data you give it. And you'll also want a clear policy for how to handle visitor violations.
And what's our role in all this? Well, we handle all the tech stuff. Your Proptia dealer and our implementation team will take care of the entire technical integration. We'll make sure your Traffic Logix cameras are talking perfectly with the Proptia platform, so that all the data flows right where it needs to. When you put it all together, it really comes down to this. You're going to deter speeding, you're going to save an incredible amount of time for your staff, and you're going to ensure fairness across the board. No more picking and choosing. The rules are the rules for everyone. So, are you ready for a safer, more efficient community? By bringing together this powerful technology, you're not just enforcing rules. You're creating a system that's consistent, fair, and frees up your team to focus on, everything else that makes your community a great place to live. We invite you to think about how this could transform safety and operations where you are.